Well, here we go back to the old way of doing things for some reason, and I tried to work on it today, but there is a voice syncing problem with my videos that just apparently started happening last week, and thank you to a couple of viewers who let me know that that the video and the voice was off sync, and I have no control over that. It's odd that it goes live and it goes perfectly for everybody who's watching it live, but then suddenly last week there's a voice sync issue, and it's really off. It makes the videos unwatchable, frankly. So as one of the commenters said, this is mainstream media just, you know, doing some more ugly work, and I can't help but to agree. There's no reason for that voice. There's been no change in my setup, and the live viewers see the voice and the voice and face go perfectly. So I'm just going to record videos right now, do uploads. Another thing that a viewer pointed out was that my shirt was always the same shirt, and another commenter pointed out, yeah, I didn't notice that until somebody pointed it out to me. I just try to do that to have the videos have a consistent look to them. That was just an effort to have consistency. Nothing meant by that, but if it becomes, you know, and the only reason I did that so that clothes wouldn't become a distraction, you know, and by not making it a distraction, it became a distraction. The Streisand effect, I guess. But this has been a very incredible weekend with the Ghislaine Maxwell information being released, her sealed documents that she had under court order seal. Those were released by a judge, and the information in there is so absolutely damning to so many people, and it's salacious, it is under oath, it is significant. It shows that there was a prostitution ring of minors going on, that these children were being delivered around the world. If you're 15, 16, 17 years old, yeah, you're a child, you're a teenager. And the media has buried it. That story has gone nowhere. It is beyond shocking to me. This should be front page news. Bill Clinton has a lot of questions to answer. There's a lot of famous people that have a lot of questions to answer. This has to do with pedophilia. This has to do with the worst of the worst. And yet, the mainstream media gives these people a pass. I am beyond disgusted. The list of people that were associated with Epstein had no business being associated with him other than sex. The man had nothing else to offer. He wasn't that smart. He didn't write very well. The one thing that he had to offer that everybody wanted was sex and power. Because he catered to the famous pedophiles. You know, if you were just into women or men, you don't need a Jeffrey Epstein. If you were into children and underage women, then you need a Jeffrey Epstein. And people that associated with Jeffrey that weren't pedophiles were just attracted to the power, and then he would use them to lure either young girls in or find another pedophile to cater to. He was always trolling, he was always searching, he was always on the hunt. So all these people have questions to answer, and the media should be asking the questions. This shows you how damaged the media is. This shows you how absolutely useless they are to you. They are certainly not reporting news. They're not going to report the news. They're going to report an agenda. Another pedophile that has been busted recently and is going to be serving time in prison, although not enough, is George Nader or Nader, depending on how you want to pronounce it. He, big Democratic fundraiser, big Democratic who's who person, big contact in the Middle East for the Democratic power brokers in D.C. And he brought and brought a 14-year-old boy from the Czech Republic to Washington, D.C., snuck him in and was abusing him and raping him. And of course, that's not the only one. And this has been going on for this guy for 30 years, a pedophile. You know, and you're just finding more and more pedophiles associated in high-ranking levels in the Democratic Party. The guy who started BLM, pedophile. The guy who started Antifa, pedophile. So it is thick and deep, and it should be front page news to anybody who's concerned. And it's not, because they have an agenda. They have to attack conservatives, Republicans, and Trump at all costs, and not pay attention to anything else, because nothing else matters. And that's the way they've been made to think. And that's how they're functioning. And it's so obvious. And it just feels like so many people say, I mean, this is just a bizarro world we're living in right now. And this is the damage Marxism can do. This is, if you allow if you constantly are above it all, above the fray, as George Bush and his people used to like to say. And George Bush's hands are not clean on this thing, not by a long shot. Not by a long shot. He's got a lot of questions to answer. His administration has a lot of questions to answer. Yes, they do. The Clinton, the Obama administration, and the Bush administration, FBI, or just their administrations, let Epstein go, let him cruise, let him do whatever he wanted. So the Bushes have some questions to answer. And I just don't understand why the media can't protect the children. Well, I can because they're ran by pedophiles. But you know, the rank and file person just has got to be frustrated. Why can't we report on this? Why can't we do something about this? This George Nader story came out of the Washington Post, and nobody else covered it. Nobody else has talked about it. Again, this guy is connected to anything and everything in D.C. and Epstein world, and he was a big part of the Mueller investigation. And man, these people are just absolutely dirty. But the beauty of it is, as we understand it from Q, and as we can see in the way celebrities are acting and reacting and a lot of activity around the world, the hunters are being the hunted. The pedophiles and all their support rings, are just being hunted down. The money's been taken out from them. The supply of children has been taken away from them. The supply of adrenochrome has been taken out from them. This is when we got MS-13 and when we got Prince Alawid and all of the Saudi Arabia connections and all of the Israel connections and the Vatican. All of these organizations have just ongoing issues with not issues, but they've just been so involved in this. But all that stuff got cut off. And the powerful and the celebrities in D.C. that don't have sealed indictments waiting on them to become unsealed and for those indictments to be read into the public record are nervous. And they're acting like it. They have been producing some wacky videos and doing just some really bizarre stuff. And the Q put out a really powerful drop when he talked about, and it's called the long drop, welcome to the revolution. So the revolution's upon us now. Batten down the hatches 3 weeks ago. Get ready, and nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing. Do not mistake inaction. Do not mistake silence for inaction. Sealed indictments. The silence is only happening because there are no leaks. There's a lot of stuff going on, but no one's saying anything. But the long drop, welcome to the revolution, dropped 4620, and it is just the story about what's been going on, how they've put POTUS in a box, and that they have not, they have been trying to stop him from doing his counter-strike. And the great saying that Shakespeare, if you're going to go for the king, it is best to kill him, because the counter-strike is just brutal, and the indications are that there is absolutely a counter-strike. A lot of people have done a lot of illegal stuff in the Obama administration, and this is starting with the unmasking of people that are in the NASA, not NASA, but NSA database, where we've collected electronic data on them, and people in the administration wanted to listen to those tapes or see information or look at emails or whatever the NSA had, and to do that, they had to unmask people. They had to ask for information on so-and-so and so-and-so, and that's how they got the information on Flynn. And that is highly illegal, and that was happening a good bit, from what we understand from Attorney General Barr. And that is the road that leads to a lot of trouble for the Obama administration. So it's the work that John Durham is doing, and he's not giving a report. It's not a report that he's doing. It's a criminal investigation. He is going to have indictments. And it sounds like this other attorney in Texas, this Department of Justice attorney in the District of Texas, was doing the unmasking investigation. And please notice that these things are not being done out of DOJ, DC. These are Department of Justice offices that are not directly in that DC area, outside of the swamp. And the other thing to note, that all of the documents, the FBI documents that have exonerated General Flynn, our general of the Q, is the NSA. NSA has been producing these documents that exonerate Flynn, not the FBI. The FBI should have been producing these things, but they haven't been because they're corrupt, and we're seeing a corrupt FBI so obvious in front of us. The way they handled all of the Flynn stuff, the way they handled Epstein for the last 20 years that they've been knowing about this, and Lord knows what else at this point. The FBI is just the worst right now. They are the absolute worst, and it's disgusting to see this. And it's disgusting to see how they tried to put the president in a box so that he could not bust and break up the pedophile rings that are running this country and running the world. They've done nothing but stand in his way of doing his job that he has sworn to do, and that's to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and the people within it. And they've done nothing but try to take down this man so they can stay in power and consume children. It's the pedophiles that are doing this. So the long drop, Welcome to the Revolution, goes into great detail, basically what's been happening strategically for these last 3 years. How it's been a chess game of strike, counter strike, move, counter move, and the president has just been playing 4D chess with these guys. But this COVID, I knew it was made in a lab, and I knew that the intelligence agencies allowed it to spread because they allowed flights to continue. That didn't make any sense to me until I read the long drop and how COVID was planned to be used to disrupt our election and to commit fraud so that they could get Donald Trump out of office. They are killing thousands upon thousands. They have no problem killing hundreds of thousands of people just to stop Donald Trump. And this is the intelligence agencies. This is China that has done this. They will go to the greatest of lengths. They've killed so many people. They will go to the greatest of lengths to protect themselves. No bueno. All right, so this is going to be the new format for a while until I figure out how to get this live stream to work better. Please keep an eye on the Q drops. You can get them at qmap.pub, and keep your spirituality high. Keep your prayers deep, and keep your faith strong, because there's going to be some pretty intense stuff coming down the pipe over the next 30 days at least. Every day there's just going to be, every weekday there's going to be something new, something new, something new. And it's our counter strikes. They've been striking us. Now it is going to be the President, Department of Justice doing their counter strikes. And I think that all started with Bob Barr doing his appearance before Congress. I think that was precisely timed. That was not an accident or just somewhere where he could get his schedule. No, that began basically the revolution. That is us starting to punch back. All right, guys. Think good thoughts, do good deeds, say good words. See you next taping. Bye.